afraid that life is going to be a little bit different, kind of like Chi in the story? Life is going to be a little different, isn't it? I bet you're not sure how that's gonna be. It doesn't mean you aren't happy. You can still be very happy. You can kind of be a little nervous about how that's gonna be, right? Yeah, you're gonna be woken up a lot. Baby's crying. But you are feeling pretty brave about it, right? You're excited to have a new baby in your house. Noah, what would you like to say? Oh, Miss Megan is having a baby too. Yeah. Do you think that Miss Megan is maybe a little bit afraid of how life is going to change when she has her first baby?
Yeah.
She probably is, right? That's a big change. That's a big change. Do you think she's feeling pretty brave about it, though? Is she being brave?
Yes.
I think so. She is prepared. She is getting everything ready. And that is how she can be brave. Shay, what do you have to say? Sit on that.
When they grow, when you guys grow, they will have a baby.
Yes, when you guys grow up, you might have babies too.
I'm not
No, Noah is not going to give birth. But you might be a daddy someday. You might be a daddy someday. Friends, we have our list of questions. Raise your hand quietly if you would like to ask one of the questions. Raise your hand if you would like to ask Taryne. Am I saying it right?
Taryne.
Taryne. If you would like to ask Taryne one of our questions. If you want help, I can help you reading it too, okay? Friends, we might not get through all of our questions today, okay?
I'm thinking, Miss Christie, we should probably only ask a few because otherwise we won't have time for our art project.
Yeah, because
we're
our
getting ready in 20 minutes. for lunch.
afternoon is full. Okay, so we have a few. If you do not get to ask a question this time, if you do not get to ask a question in your hand, we will have Taryne. We will have Taryne back. She would like to come and visit us again. Isn't that exciting? And we will be able to ask her more questions, and we are going to have other guests come and visit us as well. So, let's see. I think Allison has the first question that we would like to ask. Go ahead, Allison.
What tribe are you from?
Well, that is a great question.
Is there more than one?
Well, let's put it this way. I am not a member of any North American tribe, other than I have, through my father's side of the family, there's Chippewa. However, since I was very young, I was always very attracted to Native American tribes and just their relationship to nature, and I just really, I felt like I was a part of that, even though I wasn't technically a part of that. So I had to do some research, and I kind of went back to the old world, to Europe, where I have a lot of different European bloods, because technically we were all part of tribes way back. You know, there were tribes in Europe before they became, you know, the current societies that we know of them and cultures. So, just to let you know, when my mother used to be asked, "What are you? You know, what nationality are you?" she would always say, "I'm a citizen of the world." So,
That is a great answer.
to answer you, I feel like I'm a tribal member of the world, because I can relate to, and I feel a lot of what would you say, like, bless you.
You have a lot of connections to a lot of very important things.
Yes, yeah, and it started at a very young age. I was probably about your guys' age when I remember my first thoughts about that.
Friends, I think we are only going to have time for one more question because we really want to get to our project as well because we won't have time to finish this later today. So, let's see. Porter, what is your question?
Do you celebrate the same holidays that we do?
Okay. So we celebrate Christian holidays. I think
Right.
everyone in this room
Christian.
does. Yeah? That means like Christmas and Easter and things like that. You're hitting the table. Yeah? So we want to know, do you celebrate the same holidays that we do? Do you have special holidays that you celebrate?
Personally, just myself and
Are
my
you
family.
listening? Boy.
I was raised celebrating Christmas, and even though I feel bad for the trees that get cut every year to be put in the houses, that is actually part of a tribal tradition from Europe, bringing in an evergreen into your house in winter to remember that life continues even though everything is dying and dormant. The evergreen is a reminder of continued life. So I don't necessarily, even though I was raised Roman Catholic, I don't so much focus on the religious aspect of holidays. I personally relate to them more on still like you would call it a pagan, which is before religions kind of were organized. People had more earth religions, and so I celebrate solstices and equinoxes, and there's a you might want to talk about pagan celebrations.
Well, and that probably plays into a lot of why you feel so connected to drive.
Right.
Into that part of your life because the nature aspect. I think sounds very similar. So.
We also celebrated the solstice, Mrs. Schneider's friends. Do you remember when we did that and the coming of the sun?
Yeah.
We made wishes for the coming of the sun. So we did celebrate the solstice. Bryn, you weren't with us at that time, and Miss Christie wasn't either, but we did celebrate and learn about the solstice this year.
Friends, we have run out of time for questions. I have one more question. This one is not on your list. Your last name is Greendeer.
Yes.
Is that a special name?
It's my husband's name.
Okay. Greendeer
But I like it.
It's a beautiful name. It's a very Native American last name. You will probably hear Greendeer quite a bit.
And I'll tell you really quickly how he got the name. He's Ho-Chunk, and he is Deer Clan. So when the U.S. government wanted the families to pick a name because they couldn't keep track of who was related to who, because it's all a kind of, it blends over. Your brothers, you have brothers and sisters as Ho-Chunk, but your cousins are also your brothers and sisters, and your aunts and uncles are your fathers and mothers. So you may have 5 or 6 or 10 different mothers and fathers and 50 different brothers and sisters. So the U.S. government told the families to pick an English name so they could figure out who was related to who. And my husband's great-grandfather picked the name Greendeer because in spring, when the bucks rub their horns on the trees and get the velvet off, their horns can turn green. So he just thought to use the name Greendeer.
Friends, use your sign language first and then your voices to tell Miss Greendeer, Taryne, thank you.
Thank you.
I know, we will say thank you. It was so amazing that you came in and met us. Did you learn a lot?
Yes?
I learned a lot. I thought it was very, very cool. Friends, I would like you to quickly, quietly stand up and go to your chair at your table.
Sharing watercolors with your
Quietly,
neighbors.
that's like